Okay, good morning, sir, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. We are here today to discuss about this very old piece, Koyun Baba. So, the pronunciation is Koyun Baba with the accent of Koyun Baba, and not Koyun Baba. So, and this means, Koyun means sheep, and Baba, of course, means father. So it's not the father of the sheep, but it's the guy who takes care of the sheep, the shepherd, practically. But this name was given also sometimes to religious people who took care of people. So, and in this case, it's very confused because in the region of Koyun Baba in Turkey there is 3 Koyun Babas, as far as I know, but the one I know and where I was living is the grave of old, very important person for this region, very old, I think about 13th, 14th century, I'm not so sure, it's not so important. So, but I mean, we should consider that it's both. If it's the shepherd, of course, it's full of nature, this piece, full of observation of nature. And if I talk about nature, I mean, everybody thinks, in the south I am lying and blah, 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 but it's absolutely not exactly like that, because the region of Koyun Baba, it's really, it's sometimes very strong wind and very strange rocks and caves, and I mean, it's very, very incredibly interesting. All these olive trees, and so I was amazed by this place. And there was an incredible big rock on the hill, and then this rock looks like the head of an astronaut, and you can, from the other side, there's very, very old steps, and you can enter the eyes of this casket practically, and then you can sit there without wind, and you can observe the sea and everything around. So this was, of course, my impression. And so Koyun Baba. We are talking about Koyun Baba. This is a piece which is originally improvised, and it's in 4 movements. It happened to be like that, not necessarily, but it was like that. So, and now we want to make this video with my very old friend and student Julia, and because she is practically one person who learned this piece absolutely direct from me, but she didn't learn it like everybody coming from years and studying this thing. No, I showed her some things and she did it, and she immediately was having very good experiences with that piece, and so I am so glad that we can do it now. Okay? And now let's take only the first movement, and the second, third and fourth movement will be another video. So let's say we go, as we said, from a dark point to a light. So the first is something which comes very from the solar plexus, and coming out. Now it's coming to us, and in the moment we arrived this piece, then we have this idea 3 times. We have to talk about this 3 times. Everybody knows from the fairy tale, the first sun goes out, the second goes out, and the third one can do it. So, originally would say, no, better. The third time he can do it. So we have a movement in that. A movement doesn't mean to play extremely rubato, because if I if I make too many accents before, let's say like this. So I did already so much, then that this will not work anymore. So I need something that's very linear, very, very straight. Yeah? Like this. Come on. Okay? Of course I cannot play it well because of my hand, but this will make Julia later. Okay, so now what possibilities do we have? We can say, for example, for me it's very important to find out what freedom we have, what possibilities we have. So we can say, for example, I begin quite static, so I don't move, and then I go one step up, and then again no more, but now I'm coming out. So the movement is in the third bar. I can also do it from the beginning, so I just so I have a movement from the beginning. Important is to have a trampoline to that, and that happens 3 times. So I have to decide, I cannot make all 3 the same, because just simply this is stupid. Yeah? But I have to say, if I for example, with this system, I have a big difference in that. Yeah? Or I do also there only crescendo, so which is also possible. Yeah. For example, if I joke with the rhythm too much, or because it's just a chord, I don't see the problem, because we need this long, yeah. So
we don't need an extra rallentando because it's already written in the notes.
Exactly. We don't need. We just don't need it. And if you do something which you don't need, you have to fill it with something else. Okay. Second point, we need, even if we start from the beginning to move, we need something which is in the beginning very, very calm, very, very static. So this movement will be very, very little, not why? I mean, I'm not running away from something. No? Okay, now talking about, I have to repeat it 2 times. So, what think I could do? I could, for example, I could say the first time I played like this, and I end up in forte. So, to come to the beginning, I have to respect how do you say, logical timing. Yeah, if the sound so I can wait that the guitar said I like that, and now so start again. Yeah,
but also not too long.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, it's so simple. And then doesn't work really. So now to choose, for example, how this is gonna play the dynamic depends from how I will start. Yeah, for example. earlier because I keep the tension. Okay? But if I make it, I don't have so much tension, so I can have more time and then I can start. So these are rules which are not only for this piece, of course. These are rules you can use in every music. Yeah? Maybe we could play it once together. What do you think? No, why not? Come on, let's try. So, that's now the piano version. And now here we can come to the main forte. Yeah, it's so logic. Yeah, let's do it the other way around to see what happens. Okay. So we do.
So first time more.
So we start. We leave this point, the beginning, the last bar. We leave it in forte.
Okay.
Having forte, we have to jump on the place,
Okay.
and then we have to read at a very shy, and now we can. You see how logical this is everything working. Okay, we try it. Why not? This is more or less mezzo forte, and now we start here. It really does a good effect on the soul, I think, to play so conscious about dynamics and rhythms. Yeah. So we are not changing any rhythm in the moment. We are only playing little rubato, which is of course always, because we cannot play ta 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 ta. Of course, nobody plays like that. Yeah. The main problem of the piece is to make the opposite, to make it too. Yeah, if I play. So I already two ideas, and the third what will be, and then a fourth idea, and then where is the piece? So this for me is very important, because if you have a good beginning, then you have also a good feeling for the whole piece. Yeah. You agree or not?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. Okay.
Okay.